Hello everyone. In this session, we want to talk about NAP client configuration. We saw in previous sessions that we were able to configure network access protection client configuration using the NPS console. We were able to configure NAP DHCP client configuration. And we were also able to configure NAP VPN client configuration. And we did this all within the NPS console. We can also configure NAP client configuration using the NetSH command line tool. So that's a second way we can configure NAP clients. Remember that your NAP configuration will protect your network from computers that are unhealthy, meaning computers that don't have the policies that you would have set out in NPS. The policies stating that the computer should have antivirus and the computer should have particular updates. There's a third method that we can use to configure network access protection. And this one is used mainly for domain joined computers. If you wanted to protect a number of computers at one time, and these computers are computers that have to be joined to the domain, you can use group policy. This is the one that we want to look at in this session. We want to look at how would we configure the NAP client using group policy. We're going to go to Tools, Group Policy Management. And we want to look for the OU that we want to put this policy on. Now we have an OU here called NAP Client Computers. This OU you would have created and you would have put the client computers that you need to receive the NAP policy settings within this OU. So we're going to go ahead and make the policy on that OU. So we right click and we say create a GPO in this domain and link it here. The name of the GPO, we're going to call it NAP space client space GPO. So NAP client GPO is the name that we're going to be giving to this policy. So we can go ahead and click on OK to close the new GPO box. We then want to expand that OU. And we can see the policy name that we just gave, NAP client GPO. We want to right click on that GPO and edit that GPO because we're now going to go for the policy that we need for this particular setting. We double click on computer configuration, policies, Windows settings, security settings, and we want to go to network access protection. So we're going to double click on network access protection. In the left hand pane, we want to double click on network access protection again. And below that, we can see NAP client configuration. We want to double click. And below that, we can see enforcement client. So we double click on that one. And over on the right hand pane, we can see the different enforcement methods. For our example, we're going to be doing the DHCP quarantine enforcement client method. So we're going to right click on that option and simply click enable. And that's all we need. Remember that we would have done this in the NPS console when we did DHCP enforcement. And I also said in this session that we can do client configuration with the NetSH command line tool. And our third method here, the one that we're doing, is that we can configure the NAP client using group policy. And this mainly you want to use if you are configuring client computers within your domain. We're going to close the group policy management editor. To recap, the NAP client configuration snapping provides a graphical user interface with which we can configure NAP client settings on the local computer. The netsh command can also be used to configure client computers. And thirdly, the one that we just completed, if you want to manage NAP client settings on a domain member client computer, you can use the Group Policy Management Console to configure the NAP client configuration setting. This is the end of our session, and I want to thank you for listening.